teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway. Knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85.
Take a look at Chicago, you can smell it in the air. There's a hungry team called the Soldier Field going nuts, jumping out their chair. Teams rather be anywhere but here. We don't care if it's below zero. Better tougher for the snow, we still gon' break bones. If you in the point fit, we choosing to kick. Cause we got a defense that love to hit. Polarize the link with our smash mouth D's. Slicing up teams like Mike Singletary. Forever repping the seat, making Papa Bear proud. Giving Chicago something to shout about.
We the Bears, monsters of the
What's up, everybody? We got another episode of the Panda and Grizzly Show. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Tank Kramer.
What's up?
What's up, man?
It's going, man. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Finally get some info on this the schedule and stuff like that.
It's fine. It's fun to finally have something to look at and see if the Bears' schedule is going to be good. Is it going to be bad? When you start to really break it down, it's just interesting the way they did it. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. It's weird. There's some things that I've never seen before in the schedule, but you know, we'll get to that soon. But yeah, because it's not just this though. It's also the schedule release. I mean, the OTA second day. So
yeah.
Second day of being on the field, another practice, another opportunity for people to, you know, just be around each other, start to get this team together, and how it changes everything. It really does. You know, and then all these rookies after the rookie mini camp, they're actually getting their first taste of professional football. Caleb Williams learning how to be able to come get the ball from under the center. So being under the center is something totally new for him. How is he going to be able to handle that? There's so many things, so many storylines I can't wait to talk about. And I just can't believe that we've already gotten to this point. So
yeah.
We got everyone.
Yeah. I mean,
Donnie.
What's
up,
up,
Chicago Tribune? How y'all doing?
Chicago Tribune.
Yeah. Rasta, what up, fellas? What's up, Rasta?
What's up?
So I know you feeling good because you got the San Francisco. Everything with them looks good. That's the one game I'm worried about. Like, man, hope we don't get killed.
Also, shout out to Rasta's channel, Get Right Fantasy. Go check them out. You know, they're doing all their mock drafts and stuff like that already. So getting you ready as well. By a Friday night mocks, I think it is, something like that. So,
Friday night mocks, and then they'll look at them on Monday and break them down and see and kind of grade what's going on. It's so much fun. If you do fantasy football, you need to do mock drafts, and they're the place to really look for these things. So
Get Right Fantasy. Go check them out.
And we got Grant Hill TV just talked to the media. Justin just talked to the media.
I didn't know
he
that.
did. He said a few things, which is really interesting. Things like he knew he was going to get traded. They kind of already told him. Brian Poles was very honest with him.
Yeah.
And they're saying that he's going to compete for this starting spot in Steelers. And don't be surprised if Justin wins it. They're going to give him every opportunity to show what he is during his OTAs and mini camp.
Yeah. So if Justin wins it and he beats out Russell Wilson, does Russ just retire?
No.
Or does he just play out the rest of his contract and that's it?
It's a 1-year contract, so you play that out and he'll be in New York next year. So, it's not like he's bad, but what it is that Justin is young.
Yeah, younger. You're able to make a relationship that could be lasting. You know, with a coach that might understand how to utilize Justin. So
I mean, if you're Justin Fields and you hear what Mike Tomlin says, I don't know what these coaches say. Oh, this guy's hard to coach, or he can't get it. That means you are giving yourself the excuse. Your job is to be a teacher. So you tell someone that can't learn, I can show you someone in the mirror that can't coach. That's what it is. So anyone who says that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How has Rome Odunze been adjusting? So this is only the second day being on the field, but they say he definitely is very smooth with his routes. He's going to be a very good jump ball catcher. That's just naturally what he is. He's just a contested catcher. He's good at those things. So Rome Odunze is going to be just fine. I think he's going to be definitely be at the third string wide receiver, but he's going to start most of the time. And then you got Tyler Scott, who's 4, who's going to get a lot of opportunities too.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the offense and how the offensive coordinator, the way he runs his offense changes things. It's really interesting when you really think about it.
Yeah.
So it's getting closer to football, guys. I can smell it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you feel it in your bones. Like, oh, yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah. That's just being old. The weather starts changing, your knees start hurting.
Oh, yeah.
That football time.
And Denver is still paying Russ the rest of his salary. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Steelers are paying him $1 million, $1.3 million. And then the rest of the $36 million come from Denver.
Yeah. So I wonder if he can't, even if he wanted to, he probably can't retire because in order he would have to play out his contract. You know,
I don't think he'll even be thinking about retiring. I think he still could play. I think right now he's just going to get someone who's younger than him. So if he does lose it, and if it's close, you know he could play. That's not the question.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like you say, if he doesn't do well, he's in New York next year.
Yeah, just go to New York. Anyone could be Daniel Jones. Anyone.
Oh.
So I appreciate the shout out, fellas. Hey, you're the ones doing a good job. So it's easy to shout out someone who's doing a great job. It's hard shouting out people that don't.
Yeah, no, you guys always kill it, man. You know, you guys are always killing it over there.
I heard Caleb has been in the building impressing his teammates. So it's still, most of the people that are in there are still very young. There's some people, the receivers, really are impressed with a lot of stuff he does. But he's got a lot to learn in a very short amount of time. As I said, he has to learn to take snaps from under center. Shane Waldron runs an offense that the quarterback's probably going to be under center 80% of the time.
Mm.
You know, he's going to use angles. And this is going to be the first time, probably since high school, that Caleb is going to have to learn how to read the defense with his back to the ball. Because when you are taking snaps from under the center, you're turning.
Yeah.
Right? You have to readjust from there. So even if you're running a play action fake, you're running this way away from seeing what's down the field. So you're not going to be able to read those things. So he has to be able to readjust, flip his hips, and then know where everyone is immediately. There's a huge learning curve that he's going to have to use and utilize. It's going to be difficult. But luckily he's a very smart person. He's good at football. I don't know if he picks it up right away. He might not. It might take some time. You know, but he's going to be a starter in week 1. They already said that. Yeah. You know, Eberflus said no, he is number 1. There is no competition. There is no nothing. It is Caleb getting all the reps, figuring it out.
Yeah. So my question is, if Caleb is really struggling with being under center, is Waldron okay or willing to adjust? That's I think issue. I don't know.
He's gonna make him. You're gonna have to be able to take snaps from under center. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know, an offense that is built on play action. If you're going to be able to do play action, you can't do play action from shotgun.
Yeah.
You can't. Like you could do a fake, but you can't really turn your hips, turn your back to really sell it, and then be able to turn back around and have that open field. And that's what Shane Waldron does a lot. And he does run a lot of 2 tights. He does a lot of 21. He can do 31. Like he got 3 tights out on the field sometimes. You know, the way he does his offense is different. You know, and what's actually interesting is I believe that on the line, yes, both tackles are important. I believe center is going to be the most important position in Shane Waldron's offense.
Yeah.
And we believe we have these retreads are enough. And I don't see it.
I don't see it. Who's our center right now?
The guy we got from Bills, the backup.
From Bills, right? Okay, the backup center from the Bills, even though we could have waited and got the actual starting center.
They didn't want to pay him. That was an issue. So, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, if you're not willing to pay a center, a good center, you know what I mean? Like the Bills center was solid, you know. Like I can't sit and break down everything how good he is, but I know he was pretty solid. You know, I never heard anything bad about him.
A Pro Bowler.
Yeah, oh, there you go. So if you're not willing to pay on that and expect, like you said, one of the most important parts of the offense, you know, because everything has to revolve around the center, you know, being able to snap it, block it, know the blocks, and be the man.
He's going to have to be able to reach block these nose guards, and that's what's huge. But I guess Ryan Poles believes that was Ryan Bates can do it. He can get across the face and reach these guys. If you can't reach them, this offense fails. It's so important. But then I guess as a backup, they got Coleman Shelton. So Coleman Shelton's also a starting level center, which is, you know, interesting, you know. So maybe
that's not bad. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, also it's like what if I don't know too much about I don't follow the Bills like that, but it could be like this guy is good. Bates is good. It's just he never had a real chance to show off what he can do. You know what I mean? Because like if you're stuck behind a Pro Bowler, you know, you're not going to get a lot of playing time, a lot of opportunities to show off. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, that's just throwing stuff out there, but
and that's what the Bears must think, because they brought him in for all this money. So
yeah,
must think that this guy's great. So, I traded CMC and Purdy for Brees and the 107 Rome Odunze. Bear down. Wow. What did I think about that? Wow.
Rome Odunze is I think that's a solid one, especially if you need help at receiving.
My question then is, Rasta,
CMC,
who's your quarterback? Because Purdy, I think CMC is on his. I think he has 2 years left.
Yeah.
So and
but
Dynasty,
he's still going to get you solid points, man.
I will still be number one.
Yeah, he's going to get you solid points. So I mean, eventually, like you said, you're going to have to get rid of him. So might as well get rid of him while he's still somewhat high. You know, so hopefully you can get something good. You know, but yeah,
I don't think it's a terrible trade, because I think Brees Hall is going to be great for a lot of years. So I don't think that's a terrible trade at all. I like Rome Odunze and Brees Hall, but you have to be good at quarterback to be able to make that trade. I think Brock Purdy has a chance to be good for a while.
Yeah. I mean, he's just surrounded by
great talent.
Yeah. You know, CMC is one of them. So, yeah.
So then they signed the backup center for the Rams. So that's why I said Coleman Shelton. Yeah. Coleman Shelton for basically played 2021 through 2024 with the Rams. So he is also there, but he's not going to be your starting center. Ryan Bates is. Ryan Poles really wants to give Ryan Bates the opportunity to do it. That's what they signed it to an offer sheet before. This is why they're still doing these. Question is, can he do it? And they really need to be honest with themselves, because if they're not, a rookie quarterback who's taking heat up the middle, right in his face, this is a terrible like prescription for trying to make it to the playoffs. You can't. No. You'll not make it to the playoffs if you get pressure in his face. This is what happened with Justin Fields the first 4 games of the season last year. Tevin Jenkins wasn't there. We had a terrible center, and you getting pressure right in your face. So even if you want to grow, you can't because you don't have time to.
Yep.
So traded Adams and Pollard for Saquon. Thoughts?
Adam and Pollard for Saquon.
So
That's a good one.
So I like Adams.
Mhm.
But Pollard I think is done, and I think Saquon on the Eagles is going to be special. So in a dynasty thing, Saquon is still so young.
Yeah.
I think that's a good trade. If Saquon doesn't get hurt, Saquon can rack up a lot of yards.
Yeah. The Adams, like you said, Adams is a little interesting, but yeah, Pollard, I think he's, like you said, he's done. I don't see him doing much this season.
We saw him last year. I mean, they franchise tagged him, and he paid him $10.7 million, and he was worth about 0.7. It was $10 million. They could have done anything with that $10 million.
Yeah. I mean, Saquon, when he's healthy, is always gonna get you solid points, But him being on the Eagles, I think is gonna be really interesting.
Yeah. So Saquon with that offensive line, with that quarterback, I think that could be really special, and it could be special for a while because Saquon is not that old.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually I like that trade. Says that with trade, in my opinion, if you're good at QB, yeah. So it's a W trade if you, in your opinion, if you're good at QB. That's always the question. And then Rasta comes and answers, and because this is his chance, so you guys know this is his opportunity to show how good he is at this thing.
Yeah.
So my QBs are C.J. Stroud, Dak Prescott, and Matt Stafford. So okay, you can go ahead and get rid of Brock Purdy, right? And had no wide receivers. Also had the 104. So I got Neighbors and Odunze.
Nice.
And grab Keon Coleman in the second one of the 204. Bro.
Nice. Yeah.
That's such a roster thing to do. So.
No, that's solid. That's solid. Neighbors and Odunze.
No, and Keon Coleman. And Coleman could end up being a number 1 wide receiver. That is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, you got, and with Stroud, I mean, that is a dynasty team that on paper looks scary, just right. Just that alone. Young. Yeah. Young QB, super, young receivers.
That's such a role. Such a roster thing. It makes me mad.
Yeah.
I was good at wide receiver. I was benching Odunze. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, DK Metcalf, and my flexes are Gabe Davis and Antonio Gibson. So now you get rid of Gabe Davis and Antonio Gibson. You can put in Neighbors and Odunze and Coleman and hope 2 of the 3 hit. And then if all 3 of them hit, he wins another Super Bowl, another championship. I kind of like Pollard at his value. No, I actually kind of like Pollard at his value. I think Pollard.
What's his ADP right now?
I don't know. His average draft has to be low. Yeah. You see? You check it out.
Let's look it up real quick.
Well, before you get some
Fancy Pros got him at 81.
Yeah,
and standard 89 for PPR.
Yeah, that's a lot of players that go in
front of him. This year? Yeah, 2024. Yeah,
that's a lot of players that end up in front of him.
Yeah, right now they have him RB ranked 16th.
Yeah, I don't think.
Wow, so I got him 16th.
Yeah, I probably put him closer to 20. I'm closer to 20, but here we go. He's RB 29 on this one.
On KTC. Okay.
Yeah. Which that makes more sense to me because put him at 16, it just seems way too high of a value for him.
Yeah.
And then Roster said, "Bro, I don't mind it because I think Devontae Adams' value only is going to be going down and could be completely drop out with a bad QB play.
Mm-hmm.
But if he gets traded, which is why I'm banking on that, that he gets traded, and won't it be special if he goes to New York?
The Jets.
That's what I'm just saying.
I'm sure that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he's terrible. He's crazy. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. And then you realize what you got out there. You're like, Aaron, come back. Aaron, come back. You can blame it all on me. I think that's good. But yeah, no. Can you imagine that we have all these? So we have about 40 days for our dynasty draft. It's for our dynasty league, and we've been getting ready. I've been looking forward to this, getting your roster ready, trying to decide what you're gonna do with the first and second round picks, and looking at teams, deciding. So like, here's Roma Dunze. Though I think Roma Dunze is going to be a very good player. I might have Roma Dunze actually in front of Malik Neighbors right now because I worry about the quarterback battle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Malik Neighbors has a much higher ceiling because he's going to be the number one guy. Just who's going to throw him the damn ball? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
But Malik Neighbors, so he could be number one. If you don't have a good quarterback, it doesn't matter how well number one you have him, because Roma Dunze might end up being the number one in 2 years and have a better quarterback throwing the ball.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good situation to be in when you have both of those guys. So somebody like Rossi has both of those guys, but somebody like you, like who you going after?
So Rossi said, "Gotta get dinner going, but I'll finish the stream later." Chat, hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Yes, we definitely need that. Helps us getting all the stuff we need. Thank you, Rasta, for letting everybody know. Appreciate that. But as far as my dynasty draft, I have the 4th, so I'm 104.
Ooh. Wait, but you got the toilet.
But I was actually so I just had bad luck because remember CJ Stroud and Tank Dell were my guys, and CJ Stroud was hurt at the end of the season, and Tank Dell was hurt at the end of the season. So my top 2 guys end up. That's what I missed the playoffs by 1 game, and then I lost all because I got my guys got hurt.
Okay. So, but you lost the league. How are you not number 1?
No, because that's not. It's based on the regular season record. My regular season record was still 500. I still had a good regular season. I just lost my guys at the end of the season. I got unlucky.
Okay,
but it's okay because I got CJ Stroud, and now I have a chance to go draft a quarterback. Maybe actually I have the 103. I have the 103.
Oh, you have the 103.
Yeah,
because you got to figure Marvin Harrison is gone 1.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be number 2? Another receiver?
Probably Caleb. Probably number 2.
All right, Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're gone, then that gives you like
I could go Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, you can get QB for another QB. You can get receiver if you need receiver.
Yeah, exactly. I could go anything I want. Except running back, because that's not allowed to. You don't draft a running back in that first round.
Yeah.
Don't do that. There's nobody there for you.
it's not even worth it. Yeah.
All right, getting back to the Bears to say, hey, how's the D line going to look this year? So they're going to sign Ngakoue back? So both sides are looking at that as a possibility. The Bears also do like what they have now. They're not too afraid to go in with what they have. I hope Poles looks at it and remembers what happened last year. How bad your defense was without having the defensive end. Now having a defensive end, how it enhances your entire team. It makes your defensive backs better, makes your linebackers better, makes everyone better. So you have to be very careful about this. But I do know that they do like DeMarcus Walker. 2 years ago he was at Tennessee. He's a good piece, but I don't think he gets a lot of pressure on the ball. I would like to see you go out and probably get Ngakwe, maybe give him a 1 year, $7 million contract, $8 million contract. You still have $22 million in cap space. You can do that, but you right now take the OTAs, you take all this mini camp and all that stuff to figure out what Austin Booker is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Find out what Khalid Kareem is. Find out those things. Is Dominique Robinson taking the next step? Is possibly Zach Pickens really a defensive end? There's a lot of questions you have to figure out before you go and jump and do those things. So,
but I think you're saying like you look at what happened last year, and as soon as we got a solid D line from end to end, you're like, oh wow, the offense is playing better now too. Like, I wonder why. So yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it. So our defensive backfield is Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard, and Tyreek Stevenson, with Kyler Gordon also there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then our second string is still Terrell Smith, who was killing it, right? Jalen Jones did a great job last year. Jonathan Owens is a Packer, so I still don't really, I have hate in my heart for him, but it's still decent, right? I mean, Elijah Hicks. So they're pretty good, the defensive backfield. And then you look at your linebackers with TJ Edwards being the steal of all steals from last year, Tremaine Edmonds, Jack Sanborn, who plays strong side linebacker really, really well. But you got Noah Sewell, who I said last year, instead of putting that middle linebacker, he needs to be a strong side linebacker. They have him right behind Jack Sanborn now.
Yeah.
So, even that's good. Even Makai Baskerville, I believe they have a middle linebacker. I think that's a good fit. So they just have some depth. The question is, do they have enough at defensive line?
Yeah.
So
that D line.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see how they go.
How's this team looking in a 3 QB 8-man league? All right, so we got Caleb, Lamar, Burrow. Okay. Olave, Waddle, DJ, Metcalf, Higgins, Odunze, Saquon, Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Kyle Pitts as my starting lineup. Okay.
It's pretty solid. Like Burrow didn't have a great year, injuries and blah blah. I think he's gonna have a good year again. Higgins suffered because of Burrow, but if Higgins is gonna be great,
he's still with the team. That's the question.
I think he's gonna stay. I don't know how. I don't know where they're gonna find the money from, man.
No. So he's not gonna stay with the team. He's not going to be able to sign long term.
No, it's gonna be
his last year is this year coming up. It's gonna be his last year.
Yeah.
So there's no way he can sign long term because Burrow's money kicks in next year.
Yeah.
So this is the last year they can even franchise him.
Yeah. After this year, he's going somewhere else, and he's gonna be a number one. For this year, I think he still. Yeah, I think he still plays. I think he plays.
Can you have a better? I mean, you have a young guy, and you have 3 young guys, and 2 of them are really good. Caleb could end up being really good. Olave is a number 1. Waddle is definitely a 2 to 3 for me. DJ Moore is going to have another great year. And DK, I think though he's not going to have as good as years he's had recently. I think he's still going to have a good year. T. Higgins has that prove himself year. Odunze is going to be great in 2 years. So you're not just good set up for now. You're going to be good set up in the future too, because a lot of these guys are very young. Saquon Jacobs and Kenneth Walker, I will say I like them, but you probably need a little bit more, at least one more person, a little bit more depth, and knowing that 2 of those guys probably get hurt.
I was just going to say.
That's the walking wounded.
Yeah. Although, can Kenneth Walker do what he did last year again?
Yes, because he did the year before.
Did he?
Yeah.
2 years
Kenneth
ago?
Walker, 2 years he's been doing it.
Been solid. Yeah. So it's good.
They got Trey Benson on his bench. That's a good pickup to have.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
a very good pick to have. I I like what you have. It's very solid. I just would worry about having all your running backs going forward. And so you definitely need at least one young guy. I wouldn't be afraid of going 2 young guys. And then Kyle Pitts, I think will have a breakout year with Kirk Cousins there.
Oh
So
yeah.
everything we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for years for him. I mean, wait for you to show me that you're the most talented tight end to come out of that draft. And you got a quarterback who's going to look for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you create the space, he'll get you the ball. So that's going to be very big this year.
Yeah.
Good team, the role.
Yeah, I like it. And like you said, it's setting up for down the future too. Because Higgins, I don't think Higgins is going to go to a team where they're missing that dude. You know what I mean? So I can see him going to a team where they need like a solid number 1 kind of guy. You know, and Higgins might go somewhere and just continue crushing it. You know, and then you said like with Odunze and stuff like that. So
you have to be able to afford him, because I believe Higgins is going to ask for $28 million a year.
Yeah, he's gonna ask for a lot of money.
And you know, if I was him, I'll ask for $28 million, $29 million a year too. I would.
Yeah, because if he goes back to how he's been for the past like 4 years, 5 years, or however long he's been in the league, back to that, and you're just like, well, last year sucked because my quarterback was injured. You know, and if you could prove like, hey, it wasn't me, it was him, and he comes back in and still does great numbers while being behind Chase. You know what I mean? So it's like bro, like now, like yeah, I would 100% ask for that much money if I was somebody like him. You know,
I ask you, so how old do you think T. Higgins is?
I don't know, I thought he was kind of young. I know he's not young, but I would say 26, maybe.
Turned 25 in January.
Okay.
So yeah, Al Clemson, another guy. Al Clemson, wide receiver, almost you. Not they're not Ohio State, but they're very, very, very good. You're not going to find a 6'4", 220-pound receiver with big hands like that just on a tree. So if you have an opportunity to lock him up, you got to do it.
Yeah. And I wonder if they renegotiate something with Burrow or something. I don't know. I mean, they would literally have to do a magic trick to get the money.
Here's the issue. Jamar Chase has to get paid now.
Yeah. That's this year, right? Or is that next year as well?
At the end of this year, he has to get paid.
Yeah. And he's obviously your number 1 priority over Higgins, which is crazy because both of these guys are amazing, you know. But I mean, that's a good problem to have, but it's also very shitty because you're gonna lose one of them, and it's
because you got to pay your quarterback. And as much as I wanted Justin Fields, I still love Justin Fields. I believe that that's why you have to go young quarterback, because you get 4 years before you have to pay him.
Yeah.
I don't think you had to pay Justin Fields all that money. I think you still could have done it. But when you have Joe Burrow, you can't keep both guys. Even though T. Higgins is 4 inches taller and 20 pounds more than Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
So, what's up, B?
What's going on?
Thanks for jumping in, dropping in, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, dude.
All right. So, kind of just want to talk about the schedule when you really put it out there. All right.
Yeah, I pulled it up. See if that.
Right.
See how it looks.
See, share it. Let's see if we can talk about this.
Hold on. Oh wait, you can make it smaller, right? Smaller.
Yep. Let's see.
There we go.
Perfect. All right. So we start off the year against Tennessee. A noon kickoff on September 8th. How you feel about that?
That's good. That should be a win. You know, I think Tennessee's trying to figure shit out still. So it should be a win. You know.
Yeah, you just don't know what this team is. You don't know if they're going to wake up ready to play. But yeah, it should be a win.
Yeah. I mean, if everything goes according to how the papers everything looks on paper, then yeah, it should be a win, which would be good. Starting the season off, so your first game as a pro, you get a win. And it's at home. I mean that's always, man. People lose their damn minds in Chicago. He comes in, puts up decent numbers, not even great numbers, just decent numbers, gets a win at home.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Grant Hill here. Tennessee's defense might be scary good. Because you know why? Because they added somebody from Kansas City. Sneed. Sneed would have signed with Tennessee.
That's right.
But unless they got 3 Sneeds, I don't know how they're going to be able to defend everybody.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my issue with Tennessee. I don't think they have enough, but I do think they're getting better. And their O-line is getting better. They keep on drafting the right type of guys. I don't know.
Who's their QB? Is it
Mr. Levis?
Yeah. Okay.
Will Levis, yeah.
Will Levis. There you go.
So, I'm not a huge fan of Will Levis. I mean, Mason Rudolph is backing him up, but Tony Pollard's there. Remember that? So Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. Yeah. They got Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd now from Cleveland, and DeAndre Hopkins. Okwanku, tight end, which was great. But I like what they did with getting J.C. Latham and Skoronski now on the left side. I told you guys Skoronski was going to be a guard. I said it. He's going to be a guard.
Yeah.
Christian Larry at center. At your right side of your line is not anything to write home about. They have a very young line with Jeffrey Simmons, Devontae Sweat there, Sebastian Joseph Day, Harold Landry, Jack Gibbons. Their linebackers and corners have something to be held. I do like Awuzie, and I like L'Jarius Sneed. So those are going to be good ones.
Yeah. Well, Grant Hill saying the core is good. Yeah, the receiver core. Yeah.
It is. I mean, they got a lot of. Calvin Ridley, when he's right, he's right.
Yeah.
I know Martin doesn't like DeAndre Hopkins, D-Hop, because he thinks he's too old, but I like it.
He still got some gas left. I mean, he's not what he used to be, but he still got some.
When you put Tyler Boyd there, who's just a really good third receiver, that makes sense. And Treylon Burks is still there, guys.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, still got a QB issue. Still got that QB issue.
They believe in Will Levis. They really like him.
Yeah. I don't get it.
If you believe in him, maybe it's a problem. That's probably the first issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So now game 2, we have Houston. Second game against CJ Stroud. He'll win his second year. I believe in Burks too. I think Treylon Burks is going to have a breakout year very soon. That's what worries me. So I mean, they have big receivers. They have a lot of guys that have a good running back, and they have a good backup running back too. I don't know if I believe Will Levis is going to be the guy, but I do believe Mason Rudolph, if Will Levis does turn out to be a terrible quarterback, Mason Rudolph can still keep you in the season.
Yeah.
And you never know what happens in that division.
Yeah. But also, if he's not the guy, do you want somebody who's going to be just good enough to kind of keep you going, or do you want to tank to hopefully get a QB?
Next year's quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. I know you and Martin were talking about that. That next year, in 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, in 2 years, maybe. But not. I mean, Shedeur Sanders might be the only really good quarterback there. Everyone else is you taking a chance with. All right. So Houston, I said, NBC. We have a national television game against Houston. That's going to be huge. Sunday Night Football. That's a good team. That's a really, really good roster. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Week 3, you have Indianapolis. I think you can beat them because you have a quarterback who's really still like a rookie, just like yours. They have a lot of talent on the offensive line. They have a lot of talent everywhere else. JT is a problem, but you want to get them early.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's followed up by the Rams, which is our tailgate game. So I'm going to be getting me and 10 tickets.
Oh, nice. Is that the one?
That's the huge tailgate that we'll be at.
Nice.
I told Grant Hill TV that he needs to show up too. We'll be there.
Yeah, that's always fun. That's gonna be an interesting one.
And then that's another game that you could see the Rams being very decent. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, followed by Carolina. So we got a bye week 6.
Or week 5.
Yeah, week 5. I'm sorry. Yeah. We got a bye week, so now we're good.
Why didn't we do the tailgate thing for that week, man? Because that should be easy. We'll be walking in knowing we get that W.
I think that's the only one though. So then we have Jacksonville, and which is actually a home game in England. That's the one we need to be doing. Let's go to England, guys.
I'm down for that. At least the tickets will be a lot cheaper.
No, so tickets are low as $400.
What?
$400.
American dollars?
American dollars.
That's crazy.
The only game that's even close to that is the Chicago Bears Green Bay Packers game.
That's crazy. Because you gotta fit like are like people like English people gonna pay that much money?
Yeah.
Really? Like to see like American football?
Yeah, if you got old money, that's a status game. Oh yeah, I went to go see the Chicago Bears. It's the Chicago Bears. That name carries weight.
Yeah. Damn. But I'm not surprised Jacksonville, because isn't I think the owner of Jacksonville, like he owns up like some soccer teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Jacksonville's always playing in England.
I think they got like 4 games in England.
Damn. Damn,
It might be 2. It might be 2.
That's gonna be a interesting game. You know, because what's his name? The QB.
T-Law's going to be the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League soon.
Yeah. But I'm like, does he deserve it though?
No.
Does he deserve it? That's the problem. You know, because he still, to me, he hasn't proved it yet. You know,
I said that last year.
Yeah.
Was not sure Trevor Lawrence was the dude. He's probably one of the most highly taught, looked after quarterback in recent memory. Yeah, I was not convinced then. I'm not convinced now, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
or Grant Hill said, "Can't wait to show up to the Rams game."
You need to be there. The only problem I have to say is the day after, you might be a little drunk.
Just a little. It's a lot of alcohol, man.
All right. We have week 7 bye. A little early for my taste, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because you want to have the bye right after having the England game. So that kind of sets you back up for everything. Then they play Washington Sunday the 27th. Then Arizona the week after that. New England the week after that. That's a pretty good 3. Washington, Arizona, New England. That makes you feel good.
Yeah. Arizona will be interesting. I'm kind of interested to see what's going on over there. Did they finally figure out all their major issues? By halfway through the season, are they kind of you'll know what they are. I feel like Arizona, but yeah, Washington and New England, I like that.
So Washington, Arizona, New England. So what you notice, I just went through the first 10 weeks of the season. So 9 games. We did not play not one NFC North team.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy that the first half of the season, you don't even see a division rival. Not even one.
Not one. Which then means that's 9 games, right?
Yeah.
That means the last 8, 6 of them will be in division.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to ask you before we kind of break those down, does that help the Bears or hurt the Bears?
Yeah. I don't know. You know, because I mean, right off the bat, you're starting with Green Bay, and I think that's going to set the trend for what's going on the rest of that. You know, because I mean, because it's so weird. It's like I wonder if they're doing that to make the at least the Bears schedule like more entertaining in the sense of like the second half of the season is kind of what quote unquote matters. Like all your division games are in the span of what, 7 weeks?
Yep.
Yeah. So
6 games in like 8 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know if it's good or bad. It really it could go either way. It can go either way. It depends on how they play the first half of the season. You know what I mean? At least they're after the bye, they're theoretically going against crappy teams for the most part. Arizona is the best out of those 3. So we'll see how that goes. So they might be on a nice little roll. Yeah.
What if the Bears are, let's go 6-3. Let's say they beat New England, Arizona, Washington, Carolina, Tennessee, and Indianapolis. Let's just go over those. All right.
Yeah.
Let's say 6-3. It could be 7-2. They could be 7-2, but we'll start with 6-3, and then Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, 4 in a row.
Oof.
Let's say you win 2 of those. Let's say you split. So if you split, you go, that's 3-3. That's 9. And then you also have to play Seattle.
Yeah.
If you beat Seattle, you get 10 wins. If you lose, you only get 9. That could be our season, guys. We could be looking between 9 wins and 10 wins, all depending on Seattle.
I can see that. I do always like, Green Bay being at the end of the season. Because it's kind of, it could be a ruining Green Bay season, or like a final like cherry on top for our season, something like that. So
I say we go into that game us 9-7, and Green Bay 8-8.
Ooh, wow! But it's away, so it's in Green Bay.
In Green Bay, they're down 1 game. Whoever wins this game makes it to the playoffs. That's why I say it happens.
I can 100% see that happening, man. I can 100% see that happening.
That's exactly what I think is happening. And now we decide, do we go to the playoffs? We win 10 games and we stop them from getting 589? Or they beat us and we both end up 9-8 records.
Mm-hmm.
And then they won that last game. Does that push them over the top if they actually win the spot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oof. I don't even like thinking about it.
Yeah. If Caleb can do that, if he can get us at least beating Green Bay, I think he will be crowned like a hero in Chicago. If we beat, say in that scenario, he beats Green Bay to make it into the playoffs. That's it, man. Game over, man. Make the guy mayor. That's it.
You don't want to make him mayor. Then you have to go to jail. That's the way things work here.
In Chicago.
So y'all don't want to know what I gave up for the 101 for the rights to draft Caleb Williams.
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting to me. So
Curious.
unless you go in a super flex league, I'm surprised you took the 101 and drafted Caleb Williams
And
and
we're
not
having
going Marvin
Lamar.
Harrison Jr. I will go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, because did you have Lamar and Burrow? And you went with Caleb?
Yep.
I mean, you wind up getting 3 other great receivers, but having
Whoa.
the greatest receiver.
I gave Anthony Richardson and the 108. Wow.
Wow.
If Martin was here right now, he would be like, dude, what the hell?
Wow. But is AR going to have you think it was like that injury was just like whatever, but he's going to be back to
I think he will always be injured.
good. Yeah. Just the way he plays. Yeah. And then the 108.
What up, Den boys? What up?
Yeah. That's not bad. He
So
was
a budget for any cheaper. Yeah, that's a lot.
It is a lot. You know what though? That's not bad.
Here's the
That's
thing.
not bad.
So Anthony Richardson most likely was your 102, 103 last year.
Yeah.
So you basically gave a 103 and a 108 for a 101. Which is, if you really want to look at it, pretty on target.
With that chart.
Yep.
Yeah. We need to make that into a background just so whenever we talk about it, boom, bring it up. But yeah, but also it's like I don't like to think about stuff like that. It's like, yeah. Like, you know, AR was your like 102, 103 last year, you know, but is he gonna remain that high of a value on your team?
Exactly what you said. I mean,
yeah,
kind of scares me. The way he plays, he's so big, so athletic that he reminds you too much of Cam Newton.
Yes,
and Cam Newton had 2 seasons when he could have been MVP, and he was good for a lot of them.
Yeah,
but he's too big that when you're that big, you believe you're invincible, and you think you can take hits from defensive end because you're the same size of defensive end, and eventually it catches up with everybody.
Yeah. That's why I'm like looking at him like that's not bad. You know, I think that's a pretty okay. You know, it would have been nice if he had gone cheaper, maybe, but you know, Anthony Richardson, I'm like you said, I'm not fully sold on him. You know, I think he's gonna be good, don't get me wrong. You know, I think he's gonna change the team for the better, obviously, but you need to have a solid backup. You know, if you have Anthony Richardson, who's your handcuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's always something you have to worry about.
You know, yeah. So, but you know, but also it's a big risk for Caleb. I mean, we all hope he does well. We want him to do well, you know, but you know, as a fantasy player, you're always like, is he though? Is he gonna be
I don't
good?
know. That's why I don't know
Is
if
he
I
gonna
will.
be good? Is he?
I had a guy ask me for the 104, the 106, and the 206 for the 101.
Nah,
not worth it in my opinion.
No, that's a lot.
I don't think that's out of the realm of a possibility. If you 104 and 106, I think the 206 is what stops me. That 206 could be, you know, Keon Coleman or, you know, one of those, you know, second tier wide receivers that could pop off. I don't know if, or, you know, Wiggins or someone like that. I don't know if I would love giving you the 206 too. I think that's when you lost me.
Yeah.
Or Worthy. Worthy would be another good one who might be a 206.
Yeah. That's a little too much. Well, what if it was just a 104 or the 106? The 206 is being greedy.
The 206 is being greedy, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what if it was just the 4 or the 6 and the 206? It was one of those.
And now you're not asking for enough.
Yeah.
I think the 101 is worth 2 first-round picks. Doesn't matter if it's this year or next year. You know, the 206 actually was Coleman for me. I told, yeah,
Nice.
exactly. You give no Keon Coleman for that. Exactly.
Nice. I think the roll said he had Coleman at 204. I think he said
Yep.
so. It was
Yeah.
right there.
That's
So
just
not too far off.
the same exact place. That's where he's going though.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, that was Anthony. Got Keon Coleman at the
Okay.
204.
Yeah, the roster. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, fantasy drafts are awesome. So you're trying to just decide what you want, what's worth, and that's why you need to know these camps. This is when you're looking at these things, you're breaking down these offenses and saying who fits in what, who's the better fit. Do we have enough blocking to be able to utilize these wide receivers? Is T. Higgins going to have an unbelievable year? If so, even if I got burned by him last year, I want to use him this year. Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, on paper I had such a great team, and then hurt, injured. I was like, damn it. That was rough.
Right. We're finishing up the schedule. What record do you give the Bears?
I can see 9-8. I can see but I also can see 10-7. You know, but it's a winning record for sure. It better be a winning record. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 10 wins exactly.
10.
Yeah. I think they split between Green Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota.
I see that.
So those three.
So, yeah.
And then Tennessee's 4, Carolina's 5, Washington 6, Arizona 7, New England 8, and they win one of those other games. You know, one of the Indianapolis, Houston, Rams, one of those in Jacksonville. One of those games they win.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at 10-7. They make the playoffs. Depending on who they play in the playoffs, will depend if they win. But 10-7 is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm cool with that one. I like that one.
See, the row says I'll say 10 as well. Yeah. If Caleb Williams could just have a decent year, let's say he averages 290 yards a game, and let's say he goes 27 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Not quite 2-to-1 ratio, but this is his first year. I think that's enough to win 10 games.
You said you said average 290. If he 290 a game,
that's going to be somewhere around 4,000 yards.
That's almost 5,000 yards, right? 290 times 17 weeks.
Yeah, if he plays all 17 games.
He better. That's 4,930.
Yeah, I don't know if he plays out. I was gonna say 15.
Really? You think he's not gonna play all the games?
Oh yeah, I think he only plays 15 games. I think he gets hurt. It's the NFL. CJ Stroud didn't play all of the games.
That's true. Yeah, that's still over 4,000. Even if he plays 15 games, he would have to play 14 games would still be right over. So 13 games would be right under 4,000.
I think we get 4,000 yards. I think
he would be the first year, the best quarterback in Bears history.
I just think this means that we threw the ball that much, and we have a lot of people that can catch the ball.
That too. Oh yeah, yeah. And you remember, you got like the Yak King with DJ Moore, who that man can catch a 1 yard pass and turn it into
to the house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I see them doing a lot more with that.
Average of 290 would make him the most prolific passer in Bears have ever had with 15 games.
With 15 games. That's what I'm saying. It's
but that's a very low bar.
Even with 14 games. Even with 14 games, he would be considered at an average of 290. He would be the best Bears quarterback. That's
a very low bar. Well, so here's a question. Who had the most passing yards last year?
Most passing yards?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. was it? Eagles?
Yeah, I believe it was someone easier. He has one really, really fast wide receiver and just one really fast wide receiver.
Shit.
I don't know if you saw that schedule release thing when they are running through it so fast.
I can't. I'm not.
Tua had 4,624 yards.
Okay.
And that was number one.
He was the highest?
Yep.
Wow. Tua? Yeah.
Brock Purdy had 4,280 yards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Brock did in 16 games. Pat Mahomes had 4,183. Had 16 games he played. So the highest average per game for yards was actually 272. 273.9 is CJ Stroud, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. That's solid. Damn. That's why 290 is like a lot. I mean, I'd be cool with even like
I don't know what you're talking about. I'd be happy with 250. If you average 250, winning.
Oh, yeah.
Winning.
Yeah. That was. Yeah. I was even I like my expectations for rookie year is like 200. If you can average 200,
Yeah, so many things. I mean, kind of what like the role is saying. DJ Moore is like discount AJ Brown. I think he's more like he's almost like a running back. When he gets that ball, he's almost like having a running back there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that he played running back in high school, the way he runs the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then boys guessed it was Dak or Tua, and it was right. It was Tua.
Nice.
And Dak averaged 265 yards a game. Tua averaged 272 yards a game. And they both have 17 games. And Jared Goff is the only one in between them.
Yeah. Tua had a good year last year. He needed it. He needed it so bad, man. You know, not because he's bad, just like all the injuries and the concussions and all that messed up stuff. You know, it wasn't that he's like a bad player. It's just super injury prone and really bad injuries, man.
Yep.
So yeah, him having a good year, I thought was pretty awesome.
He's wound together wrong.
You say he's wound together wrong?
You know what it means? Like, so, like me, I am a person I'm very tight. So, you know, one of those people, when you're really tight, you're not allowed to, stretch out or get hit in certain ways because you're going to hurt yourself. If you're looser and very flexible, you can get away with a lot more stuff. Your pliability is better.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way as you, man. never.
Let's say Justin Fields, Caleb Williams throws for 3,950 yards and 20 touchdowns and 13 interceptions.
Okay.
Is that successful enough for you? How many games did they win?
That should be at least, with that many touchdowns, that should probably be a 9 win, maybe 8 win. If it's like a high scoring game or something like that. You know. I would count that as a good first year, like a really solid first year. I like that. 20 touchdowns. I like that. You know, almost 4,000 yards. I like that.
I would probably, I don't know, man. That's I'll be happy with that. And he probably win Rookie of the Year with those type of numbers.
Yeah. I could definitely see that.
Even though I think Jaden Daniels should be number 1. So Caleb is better than Joe Burrow in Dynasty. Only
that's hard to.
You don't know if Caleb's going to run.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's going to translate. You don't know that yet.
Yeah. I would say week 9-ish, 10-ish, you'll know that answer. If not a little bit sooner, but you'll know that answer before the end of the season. But right now, I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if you can say that because when Burrow's healthy,
you don't know how the line is. You don't know if he's going to run the ball. You don't know if he's going to sit there and wait for the next guy to get open. You don't know if he's going to find a hitch. You just don't know enough about him to say that. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you're right. Don't get me wrong.
Said Caleb doesn't have to be great right away. If he has only a decent rookie season, he won't drop down in my rankings. I think he has so much talent around him that he just needs to have 20 touchdowns. He gets 20 touchdowns and has less than 15 interceptions, and he throws for over 3,700 yards. Then he's going to have, I'll call it a great season.
Yeah. Oof, man.
All right, so that's our schedule we got up there. I went with 10 wins. Tank went with 9. So somewhere right there. That's pretty good because the over-under is 8.5 by Vegas.
Ooh. I didn't even know that. So that works out. Both going over.
So people are saying hammer the over. I think you can hammer the over, but I will really be looking at 9.5. It's a good push.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good push. That's a good push. Because that 10th win might not come until right at the end of the season.
Oh man. Yeah. Drafted Caleb in the 3rd round of a Superflex redraft league over Herbert. Wow. And I'm a Chargers fan. And that's because of your coach. Oh, that's a Jim Harbaugh pick. That's why. One other thing I want to talk about was today was day 2 of OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
So quarterbacks are out there. A lot of this is voluntary. A lot of people were out there. A lot of coaches. They were doing 709, 707, 907, 11-on-11 drills. No contact, in any of the drills. Okay, that's what they're doing. You gotta remember this is a voluntary phase of the off-season work plan. And remember last year who wasn't in there at all. That was Jalen Johnson. What did Jalen Johnson do? Turn out a Pro Bowl, kind of selection, after not showing up. After being that good, that OP. He was that powerful. So I like it a lot. Yeah. I'm glad he got paid.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy he got paid. Just having somebody that we know we can count on, out there and just being pretty much shut down. I would say shut down.
He's definitely you're able to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of QJ's size. Yeah. All right, but as I said, we had another round of voluntary practice with the OTAs today. Caleb threw fine.
Yeah.
No one was outstanding. Everyone tried to kind of stay within the system, which I know that was probably hard for Caleb Williams because he wants to lead from a front up front. Sometimes you have to lead from next to it, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting nevertheless, and awesome. That's a really, really, really cool schedule.
I think I read it was the third easiest.
Yep, third or fourth easiest.
Yeah, something like that. So it's not bad. I'll take that. Yeah.
This is going to be really, we're going to be looking week to week trying to figure out what this team's going to do, what the depth chart's going to look like, who's going to play the other defensive end. We got to, fight it. Get ready for football. Guys, we're going to have the start of mini camp June, I want to say 18th. We will start with mini camp and go from there.
Yeah. When mini camp? I know we say it every year. We gotta go to a mini camp.
Yeah. It's so
like
awesome.
or practice something.
I wish they had like Bourbonnais was. Bourbonnais was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
That is what we got for today's show, guys. Went through the schedule, went through everything when we think about what the Bears are going to be, how these players are going to act, and just hope that we could get a defensive end on the other end so we can take advantage of all the defensive powerful firepower we have in that defensive backfield. And hopefully one of these guys at center turns out to be the real deal. I hope you guys are paying attention. I hope you guys are getting excited. We're looking at the schedule trying to decide which one's the best tailgate. We're definitely going to the 29th. That's going to be a huge tailgate one. We want to do it before it gets too cold.
Yeah.
Check these things out, guys. There's only Jacksonville, Carolina, the Rams. So Jacksonville's in in England. So just the Carolina, Rams, and Tennessee in the first half of the schedule. And then we have New England, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle. That's it. That's all we got. Home games.
Yeah.
I'll be remiss if I didn't say something about Justin Fields. Hey, go win the job. I'm praying that you are doing everything in your power that you go win the job because they want you to win. Keep it close. And at the end of the day, show things that no one else can do.
Yeah.
That's my message to my public service announcement to Justin Fields. I also want to say
because we know he watches the show.
He gotta be a fan of this show. Come on. I'm all for you, Justin. Always. Send me a jersey. Oh man, that's the end of this show, guys. I cannot wait to talk more about this tomorrow on Dynasty Pylon. We will be breaking down some more things. Then Sunday on the morning spike, we will be having some fun talking about the schedule, what we give each team as far as their schedule and how many games they're actually going to win. So all those things will be discussed in these next couple of days. Can't wait to see you guys there. Tank, once again, thank you again, man. And we'll see you guys next week. Same Bear time, same Bear channel. Bring all your questions because we got some answers, man. See you guys later.
Later.
We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in